One of the subjects that patients often come to our clinic to address is trouble with their hormones. And although you often feel that it's female hormones, I'm going to talk about male hormones at the moment, and I'll talk about female hormones in a separate message. We all can laugh about the fact that men may be hard to drag to the doctor or to address their health concerns. And it's become a bit of a cliche. And yet, it's a cliche because there's a bit of truth to it. I really feel that men need to pay more attention to their overall hormone health. It only usually becomes an issue when there's an absolute problem, whether it's libido or muscle mass or muscle wasting, and it's become a problem. And I really want to engage with men long before it's a problem. We can establish some baselines on hormone health. I'm not talking only about testosterone. There is a far more to all of us individuals than that one sex hormone. We need to look at inflammation, but the balance of the hormones, in particular for bone health, for adequate growth hormone, for lean muscle mass, and the metabolism in that mass to burn calories. Do we see an appropriate response to exercise? And then beyond that physical, is a very important component about attitude, about the ability to be happy and to have that vitality, but also the drop in mood that can be associated with poor steroid hormones. And then the non-sex steroids, cortisol, and the effects of an abundance or a lack of cortisol. And cortisol is really unique because it's what I call a Goldilocks hormone. There's too much and there's too little and there's just right. And that's the problem with measuring it, is that it has a curve throughout the day. And we need to understand that in terms of anxiety, but also mood and energy and overall function, and its relationship to immunity and inflammation. We can study these hormones very well, believe it or not, in saliva. Saliva is more accurate for studying the tissue level of the bioavailable hormones. I said a lot there. So, in the blood, a lot of the hormone, I mean 95 to 98%, is bound to a protein because it is not water soluble and it carries on a protein. And it's hard to measure that free portion accurately because there's so much bound. We have to make a calculation based on how much protein is in the blood. And so it's only a calculation, not a direct measurement of the free hormone. And of that, some of it is conjugated and not active. Whereas the amount that makes it from the bloodstream, through the tissue, through the cell wall, and acts on the nucleus inside of a cell, that's the bioavailable amount. And it can be very different than what we see in the blood. You could have lots in the blood, but very little makes it to the cell. So we use the saliva hormone, and we use a standardized time for testing and a pattern so that we can develop excellent analysis of the relationship amongst a number of hormones, not looking singularly at one. And for the male health, that bioavailable testosterone is a key indicator of some very classic male hormone problems, as well as aging and energy and healthy metabolism. So looking at the male panel gives us excellent information on how to help our men establish a baseline, and then to have that baseline to compare to over the years. We've got an excellent way to evaluate that and develop treatment plans based upon it. The whole goal of that is to use the lowest force of intervention. We want to start by looking at lifestyle and food and nutrition. Maybe we need to also look at specific supplements and herbs. And sometimes we need to have an intelligent conversation about working with your family doctor to include pharma or perhaps more invasive medical treatments. But we want to start with the root cause and help my men to have a much stronger vitality and to get more enjoyment out of their life, especially if they have experienced stress or trauma that has led to a decline in these hormones.